have a question. Did you have let's start? Okay. Good morning. Today we're going to talk about radiation shield and radiation protection. Did anyone hear about RSO or know what's the meaning of RSO? RSO is meaning radiation safety officer. This level of section, it's reported supposed to be directly to the CEO in the hospital or anywhere. Why? Why RSO reported to the CEO? Did anyone know why? This section, it's under research center or under radiology, supposed to be. But the government or IAEA, they remove it and they put it as separated section, reported directly to the CEO. Because that section, if they found anything wrong in the section, he need to report it. Example, I am working under you. You are the chairman and I am the one senior RSO. I found something wrong or something not going well in the section. If I report it to you, 99.9 you will gonna cover it because it's your section. The impact of this issue, it will affect your report. That's why they remove it and put it directly to the CEO because he is the one responsible to, he is the one have power to fix it. Because the issue, it's affecting the human, regardless, worker or patient. Lauriston Tyler, he said before, radiation protection is not only a matter of science. It's the problem of philosophy and morality and utmost wit. The philosophy underlying radiation protection. Radiation protection is the term applied to concept, requirement, technologies, and operation related to the protection of people, regardless, radiation worker, member of the public, and patient undergoing radiation diagnosis and therapy against the harmful effect of ionizing radiation. What's that mean? Who's the radiation worker? Radiology? Who is under radiology? Think. Guys, please, we are not in exam now. We are talking to each other. So, what? Radiology or radiologist? Radiologist, okay. Is the radiology department working under radiologist only? I will tell you the truth. The radiologist is the less people who is affecting to the radiation. The less people. Why? Radiologist, he is sitting in his office under the back system, or the technologist or the QC bring him the film as before. He just put the film and reading. Is he exposed to the radiation? Only in the intervention or in the fluoro. So who's else?
Technician.
Technician, okay.
The patient.
No, I'm talking now, this is the patient. I'm talking about the radiation worker. Nurse, who's working in the radiology. Clerk, the receptionist. Also, yes. Can you just raise your voice, please?
Anyone who's dealing with radioactive substances?
Yes. The BCA, patient care assistant, or the porter, who's bringing the patient inside or take the patient out. Anyone working in the area, regardless. BCA, which is patient care assistant, clerk, support service, nurse, technician or technologist, radiologist, all the level, resident, intern, resident, fellow, or associated, or the consultant. All of them is under radiation worker, member of the public and patient. What meaning of member of the public? Relative.
The person coming with the patient?
Yes, the relative. Or the anyone. Yeah, you make it clear. Anyone came with the patient. Driver, housemate, brother, sister, son, father, anyone is called as member of the public. Patient undergoing radiation, diagnosed and therapy. The radiation. In which department is using radiation?
Radiology. What?
Radiology.
Oncology?
Where is in oncology? Cancer patient, but cancer, all the cancer patient is exposed. No. Radiation therapy. It's under oncology, or not under oncology, it's under research center. It's radiology. Also, where? Research center, sector, where they are product the radioactive material. In Riyadh, only certain hospitals have cyclotron. Starting with King Faisal, the oldest one, and what's that? I think King Fahad and King Khalid Medical City Center. National Guard also, only this hospital. That's why when you go to the small cities, they don't have. Not all the hospitals have nuclear medicine. So that's the therapy or nuclear medicine. Clear? طيب radiation is energy transmitted through space in the form of electromagnetic wave or energetic particle. From where we can receive the radiation? Guess. I'm standing in front of you. Am I exposed to the radiation now? Yes. From screen, light, projector. Okay. What else? From phones. You need to be shocked. You are sitting close to him. You are exposed from him. Body to body. Example, the relative, husband and wife, because they are close to each other. They are living together. They are exposed, but small amount. It's not considered as risk. If you are live in the city which is high building, who's living in high building, high floor, is exposed to the radiation. Who is traveling by airplane is high exposed for the radiation. So the people who is traveling a lot, they are high risk to expose to radiation. Penetration power of radiation. The radiation can cross everything. Is it right?
Different radiations, like each type of radiation, some of them can cross, some of them can't.
Which one can cross, which one cannot? Your word is correct. Yeah, but which one and which not?
For us, for the human beings, the gamma rays can cross already.
Okay.
The
True.
alpha can, and the
What?
beta can. Alpha and beta can.
Half. Okay. This is paper. Right? Is the radiation can cross the paper? Yes or no? Who said yes?
Except the
Who said yes? No one. صح? طيب. Who said no? One.
I think some was less, some was not.
Okay. Alpha can cross the paper. Beta.
Yes.
Yes. Gamma.
Yes.
Yeah. So not every radiation can cross. Which one is risk? Why?
High frequency.
What?
High frequency.
Not all gamma is risk. Risk with beta and gamma. Why?
Because beta touch and expose the organs of the body.
Okay.
It doesn't reflect to the earth.
Yes. Alpha, if we put the paper, it cannot cross anything. Okay. Beta, it will be. This is the human. All, you say 100 beta, all of them it will be with the body, cannot cross. Gamma, it will, some of it is cross, and the other it will be stay in the body. What's the risk of gamma?
Staying in the body.
No. Beta stay, gamma stay and cross.
It can even go through internal organs.
Both of them can go.
Cross outside the body, so anyone around that area.
That's the truth, which is called scatter radiation. This is the risk. So if I am the relative, my son, my daughter, and we go inside the radiation, the X-ray machine or radiation, and he exposed, I am close to him, I'm exposed, but small amount. But this is the risk for me. So always we try to not let the relative, if not necessary, be out. Because especially I'm working in King Faisal Hospital. The patient there every month they are coming for a scanning as follow up. So each time I'm inside, I'm exposed with him. Clear now the picture?
Question. Can you please be near the mic? Because online people can't hear you well.
Is it working or they remember many times before it's not? It's not working. It's working. طيب. Clear now? Voice clear or you can hear me now? Yeah, okay. Radiation is regulated because of health hazard. X-ray are formed of energy like light on the invisible. X-ray are generated when electrons change energy level in an atom, as somebody explained to you before. Health hazard include burn and cancer. Burn and cancer. What's the difference between burn and cancer? How come it's burn? Did you see anyone go to the CT scan when he finished his skin is burned? It could or couldn't. Who said it could? Raise the hand.
Theoretically, yes, because he said it's regulated, so doesn't usually happen.
Okay, so all of you say no.
Maybe it will increase risk of burn when you go outside.
No, I mean you are not ex-patient. You have procedure. You went to inside the CT scan. You lie down. Procedure started. He end up
Maybe if the patient have already burned his skin.
No.
and
no. Yes.
the patient, I think, has a disease and then
No. It can. And CT scan. By the way, if you went to the family medicine and the doctor said it's for you, you have coughing for a long time, they were gonna say, well, let's do chest X-ray for you. So let's say this done on Sunday. Okay. If you back and next week Sunday, okay, for 1 week, you back to him, he said, I'm still coughing, still same symptom. And he said, let's repeat the X-ray. You will do it or not? The first question, I did it last week. High exposed, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Fine. If he said, let's do CT scan, you will do it or not?
He definitely, yes.
Yes. Okay.
He definitely-
So one X-ray, one CT. One X-ray, chest X-ray, one CT chest. صح؟ طيب. Chest, CT scan chest equal to how many chest X-ray? 40? Okay, wow, 40. Other number? 5? طيب. Any other number? 2? Okay. You need it with the new, yes? 200? That's English. Sure. You need it with the new system or with the old system? By the way, I'm working in the radiology since 1999, so 22 years. You need it when I start or now? When I start, one CT scan equal to almost 120 chest X-ray. So you are the closest number. Now with the new system, يعني it's reach 50, 60. This one new system, the new system. So one CT scan is huge. This back to our subject. So when the patient came, he lie down, CT perfusion. This is the worst exam. The CT scan. We scan the same area, repeated, shoot for 30 times. If the technology didn't reduce the dose, the patient will end up with the burn for his life. I didn't bring the picture here. In other picture, I didn't copy it. Okay, this is the scatter. We talk about it as we explained before. This is the X-ray tube. When it's coming, stick to the patient. By the gamma, it's going out. Complete penetration. This is the total absorb inside the body. This is the worst scatter when it's stick and the direction go. The direction is different. The angulation. So this is the one going to the relative or to the worker in the area. Always we try in the exposure. This is the where is the it's before you get it. Where is the worst scatter radiation will be before the patient or after the patient? Why? So when you stick the body or stick the table. It's clear here. Okay. Alara. Did anyone hear about Alara? This is the first thing you should know about it. This is our subject today, Alara. Alara as low as reasonable achievable. You need to know. I need to give the patient exposure. I should give him as low as possible. If the radiation level above background radiation are observed, first step are taken to reduce radiation. We need to reduce radiation. Right. Any type of ionizing radiation shows some risk as exposure increase, so does risk. Research shows that some people DNA is more resistant or susceptible to damage, and some people have an increased risk of cancer after exposure to ionizing radiation. Limit your exposure whenever possible. Cardinal rule, time, distance, shielding. What I mean by time? Eh?
Try to finish
How can I finish?
not to like to finish the for example X-ray as fast because you don't want the patient to expose.
You mean the patient come in and out as soon as possible? Okay. Other answer? Which time I'm talking here? Number of frequency. Okay. Other answer?
Duration
Duration of
of the procedure.
which procedure? From in to out?
No, why?
The X-ray, the exposure. The exposure time should be reduced, not the time, because if the old people, When he came in, he's walking, he's too slow, lie down, explain to him, blah, 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 all this stuff. Example, with the old system, if I do the CT scan of chest abdomen pelvis, it will gonna take around 25 to 30 seconds. With the new system, it will gonna take 2 seconds. So how is the exposure? Huge drop. Okay, distance.
Let's take along the way more will be scattered maybe, so less will reach the patients.
Okay. The distance, there is rule. Times square. Did anyone hear about Times Square? No one? Times Square, if I am the worker, okay? If I stay 1 meter from the exposure source, radiation source, 1 meter, I will gonna expose, let's say, 100 millisieverts, okay? If I go 2 meters, how much I should be receive? 25. Yes. Shielding, we're going to talk about shielding. The exposure is to be kept as short as possible because the exposure is directly proportional to the time. Exposure are rate, time, so total dose, this is 1 hour, 2 hours, which is double the exposure time. So we're going to give double. Okay, distance. Inverse square law, distance from the radiation source should be kept as great possible, physical law inverse. How? Why it give me here is 25, here it's give me around 5. Why?
Why not?
How come with just 1 meter it will be give drop 75%? It's not make sense. 1 meter, it's 2 meters supposed to be 50, as what we say.
Maybe because it's
Scattering. So the source starting 100 millisievert here. It's not going direct to you. It's go wide. So each meter you go, it will be drop as part because now, like the projector, there, if you see this, the light at the starting, which is small, here, you see how it's wide? If you compare here and there, how much the difference? From 3 centimeter up to 3 meter. You see how is the difference? It's the same explain. Okay. This is the CR. CR, which is used in the OR or portable or the fluoro. The good position, which is this one. So we keep the patient away from the X-ray tube. Here, this is totally wrong because the patient is too close to the source. This is also not that good position. Shielding. This is the main topic today. The protective shield is placed between the X-ray tube and the individual exposed, absorb unnecessary radiation. Did you see the shielding? Which kind of shielding we have? Lead. What do you mean lead? Just you hear about them. Lead apron, thyroid, eyeglass, gloves, all this is lead. Used for protective, lead apron, gonal shell, thyroid shell. Okay. How is the thickness? It should be 0.25. I remember that there is some company, they protect 0.15, which is unprotected. Patient, and this is for the worker. The worker, I mean, technologist or radiologist, he is inside the procedure. The radiologist and the angio intervention, he is inside the procedure. Okay, or a floor. So he should be wear the lead apron and thyroid glass and gloves. This is the for worker. For the patient, gonad shield. Should be what gonad shield. Okay. Must be the gonad shield must be 5 millimeter, 0.5 millimeter. Lead must be used when gonad will be within 5 centimeter of the collimated area. You see clearly the collimated area in the picture. Okay, if I expose the chest, no benefit because it's far away. But if it's close, should be put in the X-ray, in CT scan now. If the exam is the head, we're not gonna put gonna shield because it's to cover the area I need to be exposed. You get what I mean? Clear? Yes. Used for protective barrier, this barrier are against scatter radiation, not against primary beam. Barrier used are apron, should have a minimum of 0.25 lead cover. Material used is lead rubber covered with cloth or plastic with metallic lead. Apron should be not be folded as protective material and tend to separate, should keep flat. This all kind of protection. Lead apron, wall, glass, gloves, face shield. This one usually we use in intervention procedure because the intervention procedure or cath lab also, the cath lab also there is radiation, but it's used the same radiology. See arm and exposed. Okay, for long procedure we need to protect the face. Okay, thyroid shield, gonad and eye glass. In 1916, this is the lead apron. This is the starting. Gloves, face shield. In 1970, this is the way. But what's the difference between this one and this one? I'm talking about lead apron, the whole body. What's the difference between this and this?
Maybe this is thicker and from the neck.
No, neck is thyroid shield. I'm talking about the lead apron, the long one. What? No. Same material, same company. Same company, same material used. But different time. You concentrate in the picture, you're gonna see the middle one, there is no back coverage, just rubber. Huh? The last one, whole body cover. So be sure. What to do with the protective lead apron? Inspect and check apron for defect, cracks, space, and perforation. Clean regularly. Properly store X-ray apron. Oh, you came from King Faisal just to teach us these things. I need to clean. I need to hang it. What's this stupid? We are in medical college. Son? Why I should do this? This is the very important. 3 weeks ago, I gave disciplinary action, which is warning letter to one of my staff because he didn't do this. Oh, we are tough. Head. Son? Because he didn't hang it. She didn't hang it. You give her warning. We end up what? I will show you. We end up with this one. You see what's happened to the lead apron? By the way, we are checking our supposed to be international. We need to check the lead apron annually. Does anyone know what's meaning annually? Year. So if I check it in January, the next checkup is January. If it's happened in the middle, example February or March, she just throw it away 2 or 3 times. And the chair, oh, when I finish my patient, I will gonna take it back. We end up, you see what happened? It's broken. So if you back and you take the lead apron after hair and you wear it, useless. All this area, you are mainly not that much. She, she's female. She have sensitive area, which is the breast, all this area, which will be exposed. So she feel, oh, I'm wearing the lead apron. I'm protected. But she end up with exposed. You understand why she received disciplinary action? It's serious issue. If you didn't take care, you will gonna be affected. You will end up by having cancer. Yes. No, because it's covered by plastic. Inside is lead. What's called material? Sauce. Sauce. Yeah. 0.25. So by and covered by plastic. So when you wear it, you feel it's clear. After I saw it, I sent it to the re-checkup. Our last checkup for us is November. So 2 months ago, it was clean, nothing. In January, we checked, that's what happened. And how much cost each one? $2,000. It's not cheap. It's not matter of money, it's matter of safety. If I jump on site while wearing your apron, sit while you are exposed, should not sit while wearing your apron, expose apron to extreme temperature, lean against point, object, or sharp edge, store apron over chair, back, or equipment, fold apron. If you did this, you will end up by this. Even this is the front, and this is the back. This is the gloves. This is the lead gloves. How much each one? These cost $2,500. Too much. Yes. It's too expensive because it's lead, special lead. I'm talking about regular one. If somebody use eyeglass and we need to request something special for him because he will wear it instead of his eyeglass, we'll add $300-400 extra. I'm talking about good quality, not something. Gloves and goggles. The lead equivalent of gloves should not be less than 0.33. Gloves should be, this is what we talk about. Room should also be well coated with lead along with free from any leakage. By the way, always we try to, when we have planned to build radiology department, there is some criteria we need to put it in our mind. Did you know anything about it or you guess anything about this criteria?
Size,
Size, yes.
Ventilation.
All the hospital should be ventilation.
No, there's no special.
No, no.
Big blood.
Specific lights, no.
civic,
Specific light and ultrasound. Only for the, we need to use diamond. Because the room should be low light.
maybe the buildings should be making specific substance.
I mean, the first things you should ask, think about it. You think what?
Oh,
The door. This is part.
the-
The room what? Yeah, okay, the room, what
the
should?
wall- the wall.
This is the end. This is the finishing.
Maybe they can try to cover it too.
The end. First thing we should consider the location of radiology. Did anyone see radiology in the second or third floor?
First,
Ground floor. And always at the corner of the hospital. صح? Always. If you put it inside, it will gonna cost more. Because all the area, all the rooms around should be shielded also. The wall of radiology, any room, it's shielded. I will tell you one thing. So we just finished one room in CT scan. Just the renovation, the area. How much cost? 1 million. 1 million, just the room. They remove the paper wall, they refix it again, paint it, vinyl, and seal it. It cost 1 million. Do you believe that? How much cost? I'm not talking about radiation therapy. Radiation therapy, disaster. The door width. You understand what mean width? How many centimeter? 1 meter. I'm not talking about this one. I'm talking about this one. This one, it's 1 meter. The door take around 2 minutes to open and 2 minutes to close. Why it's too wide?
leakage of radiation.
Because we are burning the patient inside. If we are talking about 100 kV in CT scan, we are talking about 2,000 and 3,000 kV in radiation. You see the difference? The wall should be lid also, covered by lid. The ceiling, the floor. That's why it's too costly. This is very important because radiation, the gamma camera can cross the concrete with the regular. The concrete is supposed to be there is at least 22 centimeters, at least. طبعا ما حد, I don't think anyone of you know about the, or not anyone, maybe most of you don't know about the building. Always we start in the concrete is starting from 10, 15. Oh wow, I put high isolation to my house, I put 20. In radiology, minimum we start 22, minimum. The standard is 25, which is too wide, like this. And also should be sign outside. When exposure starting, like red sign outside. So anyone pass, you know there's a radiation. Shielding wall should be at least 2 meters high. Somebody say about the height. Doors and viewing window in wall or doors need to have at least the same lead equivalence as the minimum shielding specification for the shield wall or barrier in which they are located. Though consideration should be given to the provision of floor and or ceiling shielding when room immediately below and above the X-ray installation respectively are occupied. All penetration and joints in shielding should be arranged so that they are equally as effective in shielding radiation. After we finish the building, the contractor, he finished the building. When he finished, we cannot do anything. Even the company not installing the system till the medical physics check the room. We have the equipment, they will come, they will cross every single centimeter to check. They open the exposure, they are moving. The wall, the ceiling, the floor, the door, they back to the other room at the back to check, is there any leak? Each room take around 2 to 3 hours check. The issue with the door, what's the issue of the door? What? Talk. Believe me, I love when some people talk during the lecture because there's something in your mind. Maybe correct, maybe wrong. So don't feel shame. Man. Really, I love in all my lecture. What's in your mind? What's the problem with the door? No, it's closed. Closed. After that, when I put the patient inside, I locked. So no one can come in or no one can go out. So, but what's the problem with the door? Always. It's not, no, it's sealed. The door is sealed.
There is a small space for the door. The wall, but there's something.
Okay, you are close. Yes.
It needs to be private.
No, the down, we don't have that matter because it's too small and it's far away, but it's considered during the inspection. You are too close.
Maybe the handle.
Maybe
The handle.
the handle and this area. The between two doors, the space between the two doors. This is the issue. That's why always there is other part from outside cover. Or be sure when the door closed, 100% it's closed. Because always the leak from this part. Always, always, you go to the hospital, you're gonna see the relative standing outside the room, waiting for his relative to finish. صح? Or need to do something. Oh, my baby is crying inside. My father maybe need me because they are care about their relative. صح? So if they are standing there, they are exposed. Okay? General safety features of radiographer, mammograms, CT and fluoroscopy room include a protective barrier should be placed at the control console to shield the staff. CT scanner. It's two parts. It's not one room. It's two rooms. Did anyone went to the radiology department and or CT scan? With the relative or something? No one. Okay. The room, there is a scanning room. Scanning room where is the machine and where is the patient will be exposed. And there is other room, small room, which is called console room. Console room where is the technologist sit there and he's prepare everything and scan. In that room, there is a window in the front of the technologist and room, computer, door, and table, all this. This window should be shielded also. صح? If it's not shielded, you're going to be exposed. The wall should be shielded. Should be placed at the control console room. Shielded staff to extend that staff should not need to wear protective clothes while at the console. Note this is particularly important in mammogram where structure shielding in wall, ceiling, and floor may not be necessary. General safety feature of radiography, mammogram again. For radiography, all possible intended direction, the X-ray beam should be taken into consideration and the room designed so that the beam cannot be directed at any area which is not shielded. What's that mean? X-ray room, there is no, it's only one room. If you go inside, you're gonna see this is the machine. But you'll see, we're gonna see that at the corner, far away, the area where is the technologist be inside to be prepare his data for scanning. Okay, not close where is the machine. In the private, always here put it small room, which is equipping the technologist. The door should be also calculated and act as protective shield for secondary radiation and be shut. What's mean with secondary radiation? Scatter. Yes. For radiographic examination should be the same. The medical radiation technologists need to be able to clearly observe the patient at all times during an X-ray diagnostic procedure and be able to communicate with him or with her. What's that mean? Why we separate the radiation, medical radiation? Because there is no window in radiation therapy. Always there is camera inside with mic, with high voltage and high amount of radiation inside. There is no window can protect. Clear? Leave room and take position behind suitable barrier or wall of sufficient density and thickening of 10.4 to 15 centimeter. Gypsum wall board laid between layers of wood, thickness of 1.3 to 2.4 millimeter lead used for 60 to 70 kVp. Barium plaster or barium concentrate. And this we don't need to talk one extra break with okay. For the purpose of those limitations, the ICRP has divided the population into three groups: patient, radiation worker, and general public. As we mentioned, general public who not receive a radiation dose, exposed accidentally, someone in dental surgery waiting room or passerby, annual dose limited. You are exposed, or not exposed. You did CT scan, okay? Or you are worker. There is a limit of radiation if I receive, I'm still safe. صح؟ طيب. How much this one? It's 1 millisievert. Radiation worker are those people who are exposed to radiation. This exposure carry no benefit, only risk. It's clear?
because I'm exposed, but I don't take any benefit. The patient, he take the benefit, but me, no, I'm just exposed. The ICRP further divides those workers into two subgroups depending on the level of occupational, classified worker or non-classified worker. Classified worker receiving high level of exposure to radiation at work. Local rules are observed. This is high unlikely in dental, require closer personal monitoring. Non-classifier receive low level of exposure to radiation at work. Dental surgery, the annual dose limit are 3/10 of the classification worker. Yeah, ICRP sets maximum dose limit for each group based on the principle that the risk to any worker who receive the full dose limit. Before, they said classified worker 50 millisevere, not severe. 50 millisevere. Now they reduce it to 20. This is for the classified. Non-classified, before it's 15, now reduce it to 6. General public, they reduced from 5 to 1 millisecond. Because they found there's something risk with the old worker. Person dosimeter, what's the meaning of personal dosimeter?
Voice,
What?
voice.
Always, if you go to the hospital, you know this person is working anywhere. You are in cafeteria, in Starbucks, outside. When you go inside the hospital, there is Starbucks. Before you go to your appointment or to your relative, you need to buy. There is one worker close to you. You know this worker is working in radiology. How? The TLD, the one which is better. Sorry, I don't have because it's in other lab coat in the car. It's a small radiation monitor device worn by person entering environmental that may contain radiation. This is small metal inside. It's absorbed the radiation. This is an MOH. What's the meaning of MOH? Minister of Health. They are screened every 3 months. Every 3 months, 2 or 3, I'm not sure. They are take it, they scan it. If it's high, in our hospital, no, it's monthly, should be checked. Who should wear the person the dosimeter? Worker, emergency, non-emergency, environmental that may contain radiation, worker in industrial environment where radiation is used. Even the housekeeper in radiology, you need to wear it. Not only technologists and radiologists and anyone in that area. We are talking about door to wall. You need to wear the TLD. To ensure those limits are not exceed 20 millisevere per year for whole body. To check that those are alarm, provide documentation in case of immunizing. Where our person dosimeter usually worn, you know that. You see the location. And there is a ring. What's that mean? And where we use it? In nuclear medicine. Why we use it in nuclear medicine, not in CT scan or something? Did anyone have any idea? What's the risk of nuclear medicine?
High,
What?
high.
Must be
You mean high?
high dose?
High is
Yeah. Why it's high risk? High risk, why? What? Okay, that's why they are wearing the ring. But why it's risk? They are wearing gloves. We are not touching the patient without the gloves. Nuclear medicine. This is a different issue. In radiology, we have CT scan, which is computer tomography, MRI, magnet, ultrasound, fluoroscopy, intervention, and the nuclear medicine. The nuclear medicine, the area where we are injecting the patient some nuclear material. That's a nuclear material is going to the organ which we need to scan. Then we have equipment, it will gonna be received, any nuclear, any atoms. Example, the iodine 121. If I need to scan, I will just give you too brief. I'm not gonna go deep because this is if I need to scan the thyroid always is absorbing the iodine. Okay. I need to inject the patient material contain iodine. If I inject it, I will let the patient wait for 45 minutes. After that, I will put him in the scanning room. In the scanner, there is absorber, detector. The detector will gonna consider in the thyroid area and it will be rotated. That material I injected, it will not gonna stay inside the body. It will gonna be distributed. It will gonna go out. So the detector will gonna absorb it. If they absorb it, it will gonna give me the shape of the thyroid. So I know what's going inside. Is the thyroid absorb the material or no? If I need to scan the kidney, I will inject other material. If I need to scan whole body, I need to inject different. Each material going to the specific organ. Because this is the function of the organs in the body. Okay? The worker there, he need to wear the ring. Yes.
Is that the ring usually the amount that this person will receive from on his skin? Or measure on his skin?
You are close, but not specific.
It's like the amount that this skin is exposed to
To what? To what? Exposed to what? No. To the material. The risk of the material. You get it? There is no radiation inside from the machine. Machine is not exposed. Machine is receiving. You see the difference now in the nuclear medicine? The equipment is receiving. We are injecting the. That's why all the patient in nuclear medicine, because there is half-life of the. I think they teach with the half-life of the nuclear medicine of the ionizing and blah, 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 all this issue. All the patients should be stay away from the kids. There is for the female there is no breastfeeding within 48 hours or 72 hours after they are receiving the material. The worker, because he is handling that material by his hand, to be sure about how much he is exposed, he is wearing the ring. Also the TLD, but TLD is far. To be sure 100% he is wearing the ring. You get it? Clear? The common mistake, what's the time? Oh, we see the time, just we are about. What's the common mistake happen with the TLD? Don't, there's no on off. Don't wear it inside what? No, it's inside the bucket. No, it doesn't matter. Bucket. Still, the radiation can cross the clothes. When they are wearing the lead apron, they forget to put it outside. صح? They keep it in the lab coat and they wear the lead apron, so it's not exposed to the radiation. It's not detecting the radiation which is exposed. He's going to inside the procedure, take 3 hours or 4 hours in the intervention. Then the reading is 0. صح؟ طيب TLD thermoluminescence dose meter. This is the short. The primary form of personal radiation monitoring dosimeter. Thermoluminescence is the emission of the light by heat. Even if you keep it outside in the car, I remove the lab coat, keep it, it's reading. If you keep it in your office, always I'm keeping the lab coat in the office before I go out. From the light, it's exposed. Okay, but it's small amount. Those recording should be no greater than 0.5 millisievert per month, and maximum annual dose limit 20 millisievert for whole body. Version dosimeter. This is the kind. There is film badge, pocket ionizing chamber, or thermoluminescence dosimeter, which is TMD. Units of measurement equivalent dose severe traditional unit REM equivalent man. This is the high sensitive organs to the radiation, which is lymph nodes, bone, testis, and intestine, and mucus member. This is the intermediate, fine growing bone, saliva, lung, kidney, liver. This is the low sensitive, which is the neurons and muscle. Okay. Blood counts, you don't need to know about it. Finally, protect yourself, observe unit for function, safety, because this is your life. You end up having disease if you didn't protect yourself or keep the area clean. As I told you, the lead apron, if you didn't keep it clean or hang it, you are the one use it, not the patient. Notify the RSO of any change in operating character. Ensure that only authorized user operator the device. Ensure that you and those around you are protected. Any question? Yes.
Doctor, I'm measuring the doctors and the workers in the emergency department. They're using these things to measure the radiation they're exposed to. So
Okay.
what happens if they get exposed to high radiation? Can we do anything?
There is a protocol, yes. If they exceed, they are released from the radiation. Example, the technologist, if he's reading for 2 or 3 months exceed, he will be away. He will gonna work in the QC or give leave or something. It depends on the level of the reading. Because what happened before, which is, I feel it's too bad. There is some worker, they take the TLD, they put it under the X-ray tube and they expose the TLD. So the reading is going high, just to take rest from doing the patient. There is big investigation for this issue. You cannot ignore it. Totally, you can't ignore it. If you find X person frequently having for this, you need investigation. But 1 time, 2 times, you just release him for 1 month, then do the reading. If it's going down, class, you come back to the work. But you need to investigate why it's high. Is he careless? Sometimes the worker is careless. I remember that there is one anesthesia consultant while we are doing the CT scan. He don't care about radiation or isolation. He went inside to check his patient is under general anesthesia without anything. Doctor, radiation? I don't care. He was Swedish. Go inside out. Please, doctor, protect yourself. It's my life. This is his answer. This person, if the reading going up, he will gonna be punished. Really, because why I should punish someone who is careless about his life? This is the last thing I need to. Why I need to punish him? No, this is his life. He is the one affected.
I think for others, he's a role model for others.
No, I am the one went inside many times, ignoring the rules, ignoring everything. I am the one who is exposed. صح? Why I should? Why while if you are driving your car and you didn't put seat belt, they are giving you a penalty?
Because if you're not responsible for your own life, you won't be caring about others' life.
No, no. I'm driving less than the speed they needed, 100% protect, but I didn't put the seat belt.
If you're careless with this, you could be careless with other things as well.
No, no, this is not the reason.
Yeah.
Just to end, if you have an accident, what will gonna happen to you? You're gonna be damaged, affected. How much cost? And how many person will gonna be care about you? And how much is يعني, really, the circumstances is huge. They need to protect you. Why the countries they're giving the vaccine free?
Expect to prevent disease and treat it.
Because the cost of the treatment is higher than this one. You get it? So I should give him penalty. I should punish him. So the others can, oh, there is punishing if I can do this. Not that, like simple. I am a smoker. If you are smoking while you are driving, now the camera give you ticket. You know that? 500 riyal. Really? No. If you are using vape or smoke, if you are using mobile, okay, it's the same. In radiology and in radiation, if you are curious about you, maybe the investigation, why did you receive high volt exposure? Is it because of you are careless or because of the lead apron is broken? Is there a leak in the wall? You need to investigate what's going on. You cannot ignore it. If everything is correct, you are the one who is careless? No. They need to do something for it. The first month they release you. If it's continuous, no. Come. Let's go on. Okay? Any other question? I hope you get some information. Inshallah. Yes.
You mentioned that the door has to be wide. And it's open.
No, if it's open, there is no radiation inside.
But like, why does it have to be wide?
Because if there is no wall, during the exposure, the radiation go out. So, there is a leak. It will gonna be leak. The scatter will gonna cross the wall, the door. So I need to lead it.
Think of the other thing.
سمك فاهم ولا لا؟ هذا السمك طبيعي بس جواته لد
عشان كده
عشان كده اسمه وافضل يعني sometimes you cannot push it if somebody who is not really strong it's difficult to push it. Okay? Yeah. Thank you. Have a good day. What's the minimum? What is verticals or you talk about the minimum is 22 centimeters. 22 the minimum. Other question? The wall thickness should be 22 centimeter, the thickness of the wall. Yes. Well, it's 20 years, I suppose.